days before they're going to be on again. That'd be fantastic. They just get the hell out of here. I'm not sure what it is.
I don't care about this. Do they care about this?
It's interesting to track in case something happens, so we know how to move. I mean,
Why don't you care?
That's what he did.
You mean what you're saying is that you don't care?
I was safe and in good hands and believe in what he didn't believe in. I'm cool with it. I think he doing it right. You heard me?
What?
and it's interesting that he says that, because this is where our country is going to.
Right.
Is individualism. I don't care about what happens to you. It's all about me. And fuck it. I think this is where we're going. I mean, I get what he's saying, but I also feel that we have to be cognizant of what's going on around us and who's not being given their rights or whatever. Because it was him, and now it's us. Because I was saying the same thing like when we were talking, and now look what's happening. It's a concerted effort to erase Black history, and now I'm in the spotlight. Now it's me. So I don't know, bro. I get what you're saying, and I appreciate those words, but we need to be hyper focused on what's happening in our country so we know how to move in it, right? You agree?
Hey, I was looking up y'all room and there was somebody else trying to steal y'all name. Like I tried to find, publicly correct. And it was somebody else with the same name trying to steal y'all. Yeah, politically correct. I mean, I'm not, trying not to learn. I can learn smart and stuff like that. I mean, like it's sometimes like when you're not in like the nurse room, you might not know what adversary is. You might not know some words in the room, so it's cool. But like I don't be in like the government, like White House and stuff, so I might not look up them words. I might look up a different word. I can tell you about modest. You know what modest means?
Yes, sir, I do.
So it's like.
Are you modest?
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite word.
Oh wow.
What's your favorite word? Politically.
Empathy is my favorite word.
Okay, so like, what that mean?
That means that I care about others and I'm selfless and I give more than I take. So I'm empathetic. If something happens to you, I'm in care of you. I'm in concern for you. I want to help you. You know what I mean? That's empathetic.
Okay. I think you broke the word down pretty good. That's good. I believe.
How old are you? You sound like my son. Are you in your 20s? Are you in your 20s? Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
I'm not even 40. I'm 27.
Your age group these days are always chilling.
Man, I don't worry about nothing, man. So I just know about what I'm doing. So we might be both the same age, but I'm doing something else and he's doing something else. I don't know what he's doing.
Who's he?
You know.
Who's he?
Well, you say my age group, you put me in a group. I mean, I'm
No. I'm just, okay, yeah, I don't know.
That's what I tell women when they be talking to me on the phone. Like, they be talking about men is so mean and doing this. I'm like, don't tell me about no man. I don't got to do it. Like, don't be telling me about other dudes. I don't know nothing about them. I'm not your best friend. I'm not your gay best friend. Like, don't do that. I'm not gay.
How you know?
In that situation. already 20, so you already know.
Nah, when I was we get along talk next week. I mean, y'all know some shit. That's really,
They gonna be on some whack shit, cause they be on the phone all the time. They don't be in the streets. See, when I was like younger, I was always outside. The street lights come on and stuff. But these kids, they be on the phone. Or either they just be shooting guns. So it's gonna be the middle. You ain't seeing the middle of it, like the in between, like Garden of Eden. You know where the devil be and where the angel be. You know, you ain't gonna be in the middle. So you don't know what it's like. Let me shut up.
yeah, there's a lot I don't know. And but I have you guys,
But like,
educate me.
so what?
I said, it's a lot that I said it's a lot that I don't know, and I'm glad I got you here, people, to educate me.
Nah, you just taught me some shit about intimacy or something like that. You said you care and stuff like that. You like an adversary, like in the hospital.
No, you mean an advocate? An adversary means that I'm against you. So an adversary. When you mean advocate, so an advocate.
What you say? The nurse taught me what that word means.
It's advocate, like A would be advocate.
Yeah, that's not far from adversary. If you're an advocate and you adversary, it's not like too far from the same word.
Yeah, it is, babe. Go look those two words up. They're totally
Why
different.
nobody babe? Don't do that.
I'm sorry, that's just a habit. Nobody's trying to baby you. That's just a habit.
Cool. I ain't tripping.
Where did everybody go?
Sometimes stuff gets silent. People can't handle the silence. That's what I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I have attention deficit disorder, so.
Yeah, I can talk, but I'm trying to work on controlling my.
You gonna do that now? Okay, right.
I'm practicing on that.
I ain't knocking the hustle, bro. Cause they can't knock the hustle. They can't knock the hustle.
I was too far away from my phone. I was grateful. That's one of my favorite words. Gratitude.
You say gratitude your favorite word?
That's one of them. I got a lot of them.
What that mean, gratitude?
It means that I appreciate what I have. I appreciate the blessings I've been given. It means, so the root word, great. We'll break it down. Yeah. Words are really important.
Knock you down for what you saying, like it's cool. Like
No, words are really important. Well, we have someone in this room that's a wordsmith. Yeah, you should come back one day when she's in here, because she's really good at breaking words down.
Who you talking about?
We have someone that comes in this room who's a wordsmith, and she's really good. She's a linguist. Do you know what that is?
Before I talk about that, I asked you a question like who that is. Did you say somebody's name?
I don't need to say their name. They're not here. I don't like talking about people's names when
I'm not saying nothing bad though. You just saying like they smart.
I know, but it's not necessary. But it's not necessary to name.
And they here, how I'm gonna know who they is?
Well, when you come back, she has a real doctor by her name.
Okay, that's fine. I ain't tripping.
Yeah. So, and she's really good with words. I'm just letting you know. I mean, she's really good if you want to learn.
Yeah, I know somebody that help me out and do all that, but I ain't gonna tell you their name because they.
Where do you live? Are you in the south or the west or the east? Where are you located? You don't have to tell your exact location, but are you the south? Are you the east? Are you the northwest? Where do you live?
Is you trying to see if I'm gonna lie to you or something? I mean, I got it in my pocket.
Oh, I didn't even
I'm gonna tell you, don't look at it if you're driving. I'm in Birmingham, but like I'm in Birmingham, but I'm like one out of one. You're not gonna find nobody in Birmingham that's moving like this. So you'll be fooled by the images. You'll think everybody the same, but they not. You'll think every man the same, but they not.
You know, I'm just intrigued by you, Birmingham and Mississippi and Tennessee.
Don't be intrigued by Memphis. Because of Memphis, I've been to Memphis. You know, I'm from Birmingham. I've been to Memphis, and it's not what you think. The day one when you show up is not gonna be what you think. So don't go there. You know, I'm a handsome dude, so I tell you, like, that's, you know, they got a like HIV stuff going on and stuff. Like, don't go there. You might start liking somebody out there and they ass and be on some other shit. I'm just helping you out, like, just chill. Like, be in clubhouse, relax, cool. Bitch, you ain't out there getting caught up in no dumb stuff. Like, that what they do.
Y'all should see my face. I mean, we really have to get on the point where we can just be streaming. Yeah, I don't think I wasn't going out there to find a date or anything like that. So it's just interesting.
When? Hopefully. Yeah, but like the only reason I started talking because you said some stuff that I know about. Like you said that dude was saying nigga and stuff. And I'm like, I play NBA 2K all the time. And the white folks that get on NBA 2K, they come a dime and a dozen. Like sometimes you'll find some cool white people. But majority of the time, when I play a video game, I find some people saying nigga. The first thing they say on the mic is nigga. Like they don't do nothing else. And I've been playing the game for like 3 years. But I'm gonna stop playing it soon when I get some other shit going. But I be talking shit to them. But the black people on the game, they help the white person. And I just be outcast as fuck. And I just talk shit to all they ass. Like I be 4v1 in their ass. They be quitting the game because I be talking so much shit. But like I'm on Clubhouse.
So what are we talking about?
I'm putting you on game. That's what we talking about. Like you don't play 2K. Like this is just a learning thing, so you won't have to go through. You know, if you was to cut on the game and play it, then you will see it. But if you don't want to cut on the game and play it, you ain't got to see it. You can just like, okay, this is what he said, so this is what it is, and I already know what's gonna happen if I cut that shit on. So you cut it on, you're like, oh, I know how to move already. You can't even play me. But if you sit up in this bitch and like nigga ain't saying that, you cut that shit on, and that shit start happening. You gonna be like, damn, you calling me a nigga? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in that situation. And then you're gonna be another nigga have to come through, try to talk shit for you, or you gonna be talking shit, but you a woman, so it ain't gonna hit the same. They just gonna use that shit as like you know, they gonna use that shit. Cause it's mostly dudes on that game. That's all I'm saying. The male nigga. I know this nigga.
Did you say that you were 28? Or in your late 20s? Because you look like you're around 18 in your picture.
Okay, I did want to play this clip real quick. What they've learned about the transcript. Give me a second.
26 months. Okay, I didn't get a chance to listen, but we do have a bunch of transcripts that did the audios, and I'm not gonna be able to play them till later. We can play them in Lisa's room, but they got them at the Department of Justice. Obviously, not the Department of Justice, but the DOJ's website. Let me go ahead and play what NBC News has as far as what they've heard and what they learned.
Ghislaine Maxwell, in her own words, describing her interactions with President Trump decades ago.
Yeah, I told Trump. That boy savage.
She also says she does not believe former President Clinton did anything inappropriate either, or interacting with Jeffrey Epstein, who would later become a convicted sex offender. Over 2 days last month, Maxwell spoke with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who was once one of President Trump's personal lawyers. The White House has been facing mounting pressure to release more information about the investigation into Epstein, who the Justice Department concluded died by suicide while awaiting trial in 2019. Conspiracy theories have swirled that he was murdered to cover up a client list. Did you know of the existence of any such list? Maxwell was asked about what she thinks happened. Still, she insists that Epstein likely would not have been targeted by someone outside the prison. Maxwell serving 20 years as Epstein's co-conspirator in the sex trafficking of young women, though her attorney says she's innocent. Also today, the Justice Department turned over the first batch of its Epstein files to Congress in response to a subpoena.
Gutierrez joins us now from the White House. Could Ghislaine Maxwell be pardoned here?
Gotti, several survivors of Epstein's crimes and your families are vehemently against that. But today, Maxwell's attorney argued that his client was a scapegoat after Epstein died in prison. The president recently said that he was allowed to pardon her. But no one had asked him.
Gutierrez of the White House, thank you.
That's it.
Today, Lionel Menendez is making his case for freedom to a California.
Just watch YouTube. I think everybody here watch YouTube because like, I don't know why you even playing. That shit ain't. That's some regular shit. Niggas chilling and cut this shit off. Chill this shit up.
Did y'all hear me at all? Anything?
No, we heard that damn fucking shit through the intercom.
The intercom, that's what they have at school, guys, the intercom.
So y'all didn't hear the news paper article? Newspaper. News article.
Gasoline.
Yeah. He said he heard it through the intercom.
That's why I thought it was funny, because that's where you hear it in high school.
Yeah, he's a high school kid. So what do y'all think? Like, do you think that she doctored her answers so because she knows that she's under scrutiny right now and this may be her chance of getting her?
Absolutely. This is her get out of jail free card, her pardon. She's gonna lie and lie, of course. I think somebody last night in here said, or somewhere today, there's going to be some press conference with the victims this week. And I don't know where that came from, that information. I'm going to try to find that, because that will be really interesting to hear. I'll see about it.
And that's the problem, I mean, coming in there and lying is not going to do her any good with all these people still alive to go in there and tell their truth. It's just ridiculous. Do people think this shit out, or they just come up with a plan and think everybody else is going to lay down. If I know that I'm a liar, if I know that I've done so much damage to so many people who are still alive, and I'm literally going to try to pretend like it never happened, that I'm going to rewrite fucking history, I don't get that part. I really am absolutely stunned.
Well, remember that they're all watching him do it. So, you know, when the guy in charge is doing it 24/7, it's pretty easy to think, well, I'll just do the same thing. You know, that's that, you know, what's the woman with the alternative news, the alternative facts? I mean, this has been coming for years. So, yeah, they figure may as well just say, well, I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything, I wasn't there. It doesn't matter. There's no reality, but that's why I want to find out about that press conference, because I would really love to hear them be able to speak.
Yeah, just like Trump yesterday, it's all about lying. It's all about who can tell the best lies and what lies can be believed. Because he straight up lied yesterday when he said that he didn't know nothing about the raid that was going on at his ex-homie's house. It's just like, and I guess everybody dumb. We might be dumb. I know we're dumb, but it was just amazing.
Yeah, fucking Adams. He has clipped a lot of my shit. He's an annoying F word.
Yep.
He's an annoying N-word F word.
He's annoying F for an word.
And Wednesday's precinct is going to do press conference from the things to speak out.
Side note, Southwest Airlines will begin
It's okay. It's all worth it, you know, because I'm filming all this. So, like, when Adams gives his little speeches with his Darren the Hippie crowd, and he's giving me a lot of content, like, I'm not wasting my time over here. I'm filming everything all these idiots say.
They're also going to have people purchase for their baggage. If you bring extra baggage, you're going to have to pay for it.
I know. They're crazy.
They're just going to implement a bag. They didn't have a baggage policy first.
For example, wait, you're going to do what?
They're just
This one person, she said, I never done somebody that is
carry-on
not true.
items, they doing away with it.
Yeah, so free carry-on.
So now you have to pay just like everybody else.
Did you know, Justin, I love Southwest. They got started flying the Texas Triangle, Austin, Houston, Dallas, and their advertisement in the 70s was, if you were to take a trip on any of these airplanes for the Triangle, you would get a $30 ticket and a handle of premium liquor. Until the TABC, or Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission, was like, hey, you can't actually do that. But that was how the airline got started, advertising premium liquor for people.
Dig deep into your pockets, Julian.
So they're really going to get rid of
I agree.
So you don't care about the fat people having about 2 seats, just sort that. Just the carry. You only give a fuck about the carry-on.
I mean, I don't know what to think about the fact that people have to buy an extra seat. I would like it if they didn't have to. It seems like it'd be a better way to operate.
They're gonna lose their popularity with them too, because that's why I only fly them because of that policy. So now there's no reason to no more. And that's why people that fuck with them. They don't have like people stupid. They get rid of why people start messing with you.
Those seats are so narrow on Southwest. You know, they're very narrow seats. And I don't consider myself skinny and I don't consider myself fat, but I don't feel comfortable like I do on like JetBlue or Delta. Yeah, I could see if I was a little overweight, I'd have to get 2 seats. I could feel that. You know, they are very narrow.
Are they being accused of being discriminatory by charging for the second seat if somebody's obese? Or are they
What
just
really
allowed to do
upsets
that
them all
because
is
it's a
when I do
business
these
decision
fundraiser
or
rooms and
otherwise
people are actually
I just think
donating.
we
It
don't love
drives the
this
haters
business
crazy.
decision, and that certain airlines, the other airlines also have a policy that makes it easier to purchase 2 seats. I'm just not sure which ones.
Bitch, shut up.
Like anybody cares who any loser is on this app, as if it matters. One person is trying to organize and bring some glory and
But anyway,
on
it was the original
some
story
order
that
to
you're
the
gonna have to start
clubhouse
paying for
streets,
your,
and it's just a ghetto. This is literally a ghetto.
I didn't hear that part of it.
The original story was that overweight people were going to have to pay double the seats, and then I said they're also having to pay extra for their baggage. Like, you bring on one free check-on, but after that, you're going to have to pay for it.
I think that's the way it's been. You can only have one free bag you can carry with you, and anything checked has to be paid for. I mean,
From what I understand, it's a fairly standard part of the airline industry.
so what are we talking about here, Lisa? What's the news? What's going on?
Charles, I'm hanging out with Sean. I'm on a little excessive drive here, and I thought I'd come in and hang out with Sean and find out what's happening. When I went to sleep last night, it was all about this nonsense, basically dealing with what was going down in D.C. My whole road just went left about it. So I'm hoping as of today, because he said today he was going into Chicago. That's what he said. So, I guess he's done tap dancing and clowning in D.C. Now he's moving on to Chicago, and then next week he should be in New York. So that's what I got. So I'll be listening.
There were 19 places he was going. I actually saw the list of them. I should go back and look at it.
Yeah, I think all this is performative. But I did go back, and found out that he arrested 790 something odd people. Maybe double digits as far as finding the illegal aliens. I played the arrest of this. I don't know where he was from, but he spoke Spanish, and it was hard. It was heart wrenching. It was very heart wrenching. He was literally yelling for his life.
Horrible. And I'm on zero basis, like just somebody on the street.
Just was in traffic in DC, like literally in traffic, and they walked up to his car. They eyeballed him, because that's what you can do now. You can eyeball people, and decided that by looking at him, he was an illegal alien. So they went and pulled him out of his car, and he was on the sidewalk. Well, they had him all pinned down. It wasn't nice. About 12 of them were on top of him, and he was literally crying for his life. He's like, I'm not a criminal. I work here. Just let me go home to my family. It was heart wrenching though. I was like, wow. And people that walking by, they look helpless, but yet still, nobody reached out to make sure that he was not gonna die on that sidewalk with 12 people on his back. So I think we're getting immune to the violence. We're getting immune to the destructive behavior and the cops and everything. We're becoming immune to it. Don't you feel? Like now when we see cops beat the shit out of people, it's like a part of normality.
It's not really into it. It's just we're not willing to take that. Like, as much as I may feel for it, I'm not gonna jump out there. If they go after you, they definitely gonna do it to me. So, I mean, that's how it is.
Just I think they're banking on that. This is, it's human nature. I agree. But I think that's part of their master plan. They were banking on just the fatigue of it all, and nobody wanted to get involved and going to jail. We just walk by it now. It's like I ain't get involved in that. I'm not. I don't want to be involved because I don't want to put myself. And I'm exactly that person right now too. Of course.
Hey Lisa, I just dropped an Instagram reel in the chat. This is what's going on in LA, in Linwood. I know you're driving, so you can't see it, but I want you guys to watch it and listen. Listen to what these men are saying to people as they try to arrest them. I don't want to say any more than that. I want you guys to go out and listen to this. And I'm boots on the ground every morning, as you know, doing what I don't want to say what I'm doing. Anyway, just listen to this. So if you think this might be performative, being down out here, I honestly don't think it is. I really think they're gunning for everybody. Anyway, that's it. Just listen to this Instagram. It's so disturbing.
But when I say the performative, like he's doing this in the fashion by which the outcome I don't think is performative, but the manner by which this is being done, deploying troops, ICE and having people come and join as independent contractors, more like bounty hunters, all this kind of stuff. It's just it's extra. It's extra, and I think he's doing it to be performative, to show the MAGA people how purportedly strong he is and how he's a leader. And down there on the level, on the edge of being a dictator, I think he is a dictator. People are like, this is like a dictator. No, it is dictation. And what are we talking about right now? This is someplace I don't even recognize, I mean, never. This country, I don't recognize it anymore. I don't recognize anything about this country.
Some of the worst case scenarios we've been laying out for months, they keep getting worse. The worst scenarios are not the worst scenarios anymore. They're all the way there. I think we're all the way there. I mean, we're beyond. We're like really close to the fascism. And I looked up what the difference was, and it said that one of the defining differences is when military is used. Then it starts to really get close to all-out fascism. I mean, if he ends up putting troops in every city, it's over. Game over. I mean, I don't know what's left. I mean, you want to live in a city where there's, military vehicles and
I'm not going. He already kind of, he's a Republican, but he ain't going. Wes Moore already said he's not going. So,
So then what happens culturally? Like Tim Walz is my governor. He would never go for it. But if he says no, get the fuck out of here, does he have power to do that? I mean, what does it come down to?
I mean, technically, you're supposed to be able to, because every state has their own, state patrol. I mean, not state patrol, but, I forget, Patty probably know what I'm talking about, but, Army, whatever. And they're supposed to have their own jurisdiction, from how I understand it. Just like with any law enforcement, the FBI can't just run up on an APD case and say, all right, unless it I guess has federal components or it breaks federal law. So unless people are down here breaking massive federal laws, I don't see how they're gonna do it. Now, will he do it anyway? Probably, but I definitely don't think our governor is gonna go for it.
Well, I'm in Minneapolis where George Floyd was, and what happened here. I mean, the Walls did not want the National Guard here, and he's done them anyway. So, but what I read was that all it takes is for Trump to declare that we're in a national emergency, and then he can jump over those
those rules or those laws.
I think so when you are, but so if that's the case, I think that is right. But I just don't know. I mean, he may, but declaring a national emergency, that's a lot.
Well, that's how you call off the election. And I think that's the plan. Morning, Dr. AG.
Happy Saturday!
Happy Saturday.
Hey, loser. Hey, Jimmy.
What up, y'all? What up? What the hell I miss on this app?
Well, I was just looking at the New York Times, and they have a front page article today that is entitled How Trump Used 10 Emergency Declarations to Justify Hundreds of Actions. So it says in the 7 months back in office, President Trump has declared 9 national emergencies, plus crime emergency in Washington. And those emergency declarations have been used to justify hundreds of actions, including immigration measures, sweeping tariffs, energy deregulations that would typically require congressional approval or lengthy regulatory review. So then there's a chart that shows every quote emergency declaration and the actions that flowed from each. And there's a whole chart here. I'm going to go ahead and can you mod me for a second, and I can just gift it up to the top of the room.
Here's what Trump does. I don't know if you can.
Are y'all talking?
Why I didn't ask for sources from kids?
Hey, Debbie, yeah, everybody's talking. You can't hear us? Oh, we hear.
Yeah, I was just asking if you wanted the link for that because it shows every emergency declaration and then what the actions have been that have followed it. There's a whole chart of it. If you want me to get the room with the article, I can do that. So,
Have y'all figured out how to slow Trump's bitch ass down yet?
The what?
Have y'all figured out how to slow Trump's bitch ass down yet?
No. The CHF was gonna do that, Gemini.
Oh my God, is that Gemini?
There ain't gonna be long.
I just heard your voice, Gemini. I'm like driving. I was like, wait a minute, is that Gemini? What's that, Gemini?
It was good y'all been working off the app. Get my grind on.
Oh, wait, I've been missing you. Glad to hear your voice.
It's good to hear y'all. I'm just stopping by to show face. I ain't gonna stay long, but I wanted to make sure I came through and say what's up to everybody.
Well, that's nice of you to drop by. Grace us with your presence.
See what kind of good shit I done missed out on, because I know y'all been turned up in your own.
Oh, you missed out on a lot, bruh. You have to come by. You know what's going on out there, so you know what's going on in here.
Yeah, I'm more tuned in to what's going on outside. I touched grass for about a month. So I'm good. Moving around.
Can I stream Aaron Parnas' morning report on the uptick now that's going on with military presence? Yes or no? Lisa? naturally? Anybody?
Go ahead.
Okay, that's what I was asking. All right, here you go.
We have major news right now. We're about to see a major uptick in National Guard presence in 19 states across the country. More than 1,700 members of the National Guard are set to deploy mid-August through mid-November for a 3-month period. And here's what we know right now. The 19 states obtained by Fox News included Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Wyoming, and Texas is projected to have the largest National Guard presence in the state. However, this does not include what Donald Trump expects to do in Chicago and in New York, which may include the National Guard as well. So this is separate and apart. This is for immigration enforcement for crime-related issues in those states. Many of those states are red and Republican states. We now have more than 2,000 members of the military in Washington, D.C. About to have 1,700 more deployed in 19 states across the country. And get ready, Chicago, New York, because you're next. So spread the word.
Y'all know this is a dry run for martial law, right?
What's dry about it?
Right. And otherwise, keep this clown in office. That's all this is. To see how you're going to react. That's not what COVID did. They wanted to see how you reacted when they said you can't go anywhere, you can't do this, you can't do that. And now they're putting martial presence. You have to understand the United States military is the most lethal force the world has ever seen. They are not designed to wound. They're not designed to police. They're not designed to give a fuck. They are designed to eliminate the threat, the end. And you put something like that and you unleash that on civilians, that's called martial law.
Yeah, but they're also not designed to do that to the civilians too. So I think there's a point at which, the soldier or whatever has to make a decision. And I mean, that's yet to be seen, but I don't know that the United States Army is not Trump's Gestapo, and I think that there's enough, I would hope that there's enough people with integrity and just, that understand how American law works, that, they can't be sicked on the people of this country. That's, what I think.
And that's the key word. You said I hope. See, a soldier is just that. A soldier does follow orders. And when you replace generals who stood in Trump's way like he did, and when he fired them, replaced them with his puppets like he did, those soldiers are those individuals. There was a reason why there was an influx of people who joined the armed forces once he got into office, like minds. So with that being said, a soldier is just that. They're not a robot. And yes, some of them may question and things of that, but the vast majority of them do not believe they will because they swore an oath to the country. They swore an oath to the president's office. So I don't think it's going to be I don't think you're going to see the valor in what you speak of.
We got some soldiers in here even next time.
Well, absolutely. I work with a lot of them too.
Justice, right? It's not going to happen that way. It's not legal. It's not legal, not just here. It's international law against it as well, right? Like, it's not going to happen.
If that were the case, they wouldn't be, if it's international, they wouldn't be bombing Ukraine, and they wouldn't be bombing Palestinian civilian targets like they do, or taking them out like they do if it was international.
They can do that under the guise of a military attack on military and civilian casualties. That's a lot different than direct confrontation. But that's not the U.S. military. The U.S. military is just funding that. They're not doing that. That's
No, the point that I'm trying to make is, you said under the guise, and all it takes is somebody's word. Hey, they're doing this, and I saw it, and I can prove it. And you sink the military on, which is what they did, but they still bomb civilian targets. All it takes is for Trump to say, hey, this place over here, these don't get me wrong, I have nothing but the utmost respect for the military, my grandfather, my father. MIA, Korea, I have nothing but respect. I come from a long line of military individuals. But I do know that they are not designed to police. They're designed to kill and eliminate the threat.
Yeah, but and I agree with that part. I just don't know, especially from after with 2020 and all the protests that happened. The National Guard was in it, but they didn't even move and go approach you like. And I don't know if it's a law that keep prohibits them from doing it, but it's just their own. They just are there. They don't really do nothing to nobody. So I don't know like all the laws around it, but I know my dad was in the army, and a lot of people I know, and they said my dad's no longer in it, but he said if there would have been some orders, he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of people that don't have that type of valor. But what I'm saying is, with all due respect to the ladies in here, you don't put on a condom unless you're going to club. There is a reason. This is what you call a dry run. There is a reason why you are deploying slowly but surely, just to see people's reaction. And sooner or later, it is going to, an order is going to come out that's going to go against what we are used to. That's all I'm saying. But hey, I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times in my life. I could be wrong again, so I don't know.
I hope you're wrong. I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying about like the rollout and them trying to see, but when people start saying, again, I'm not I'm not a veteran or whatever, so when Patty get back in here, we can answer. But I think like they have to be like agree to it. I don't know if you think it just be like go shoot civilians and they gotta go do it. I don't know though. Oh yeah, she back, Patty.
Patty,
She's not saying nothing. April, what you think?
I would say that anytime that you have an armed military in the streets against your citizens, which people who are illegally here, they're not citizens, but they're here, and people may have caught up Americans with these supposed ICE people, which I don't. If you're gonna come grab me off the street, I don't know who you are, I'm gonna have a problem. But if you arm the military, put them on the streets, right, guard, whatever, there's a likelihood, let me just put it that way, of something happening that was unintended, right? At any point when you have somebody armed, shit can go wrong, it can go south. So that would be the point that I would be worried about when he would start the martial law business.
So I think it's gonna be some Timmons Square type shit.
I don't know, Jeff, honestly, because every city's different. And of course, people on social media in Chicago say, we're not DC, come here, blah, blah. There's a whole lot of people out here in a whole lot of different situations already thinking about what they're going to do. Will they do it? I don't know. But all I know is when you add more guns into a situation with more variables to people who aren't particularly stable, and you have racist ass people in the military, they exist, they're in there. To me, it's just a mix, right? It's a volatile mix that may not turn out right. It may go very badly in some states.
I have no doubt that it's not gonna go well. I just think that when I think of the military turning against the public, that's what I think of as Timmons Square.
Oh,
and I just don't think. Yeah. I don't think that our military will stand on post and shoot our civilians.
I don't think so.
But I do think some shit could go down. Absolutely.
You remember when he held that Bible? Just a moment. When he held that Bible upside down, he had asked the generals, people with him, if they could
shoot
the crowd and shoot it like that.
And they did it with
And they could do it with if they did it even with potential to go very, very wrong.
Well, think about it. One thing we learned from the event, one thing we learned from science fiction, the event is when Vision said, strength begets conflict. Your military is your strength. It's already a challenge. Strength begets conflict. Conflict begets death. It's only a matter of time before something goes wrong. And Miss April just said it. You know, they told them, hey, don't come here with that. We got DC. That's already an open challenge. So you got to be careful with these type of things because it doesn't take nothing but one instance in time to set something tragic off.
Jerry and Abel, I hear what y'all saying, and it's valid, right? Trump is 100% stress testing the system. He's 100% seeing how close to a dictatorship he can come to under our laws by tweaking and doing all kind of shady fuck shit like he likes to do. Like there's 100% accuracy in saying that. But I also think that the checks and balances, although they're working pretty fucking slow, are going to thwart anything that he's trying to do in that nature. Like there's literally the UCMJ says that we being soldiers, I'm not one now, but I used to be, right? We only have to follow lawful orders. It's our duty not to follow a lawful order. Same for the Secretary of Defense, right? So when he starts going and trying to implement things that are completely against the Constitution, they legally are supposed to abide to the Constitution and say this is not a lawful order. We don't have to comply. Even though you have the authority to issue the orders, it has to be lawfully compliant with the Constitution. If it's not, we don't move. And
Well, I'm going to
telling them to harm civilians, shoot civilians, so on and so forth, that goes against the Constitution.
So I have a quick comment.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
Thank you. I have a comment. Okay, so yeah, we know how it's supposed to be, but we have also seen how the people who Trump has appointed are not respectful of how it's supposed to be. And in a situation with the military in the streets, confronting the citizens, all it takes is one person. All it takes is one rogue person who accidentally shoots into the crowd. Like, it doesn't have to be a battalion. It doesn't have to be, I already turned right, thank you. It doesn't have to be, sorry, she's getting on my nerves. It doesn't have to be a whole unit that violates. It only takes one person for this to go very wrong.
My issue is this court. Trump has an issue. He goes and breaks the law and continues to break it while the lawyers sort it out in court. But he's doing what he wants to. Now, if there was a situation where he was saying, I want to do this, let's take it to court, stress test it against the law before I do it, that's a different story. This is one of the, how can I say it? This is one of the most overt expressions of, I'm going to wipe my left butt cheek with the Constitution and my right butt cheek with the Bill of Rights, and then you can go complain about it in court. And what we're going to do is we're going to legislate it. We're going to challenge it in court and string it out as long as we possibly can while we do what we want to do to the American citizens. And this is the problem that I find.
I agree. But I'm going to refer to my brother Gemini. He said he was in the military, so I'll show you deference because I don't know. My vision kept me out of the military. But with that being said, yes, you said there are laws that says that we cannot and we do not. But again, he's replacing individuals who are like-minded. Generals, admirals, other individuals in leadership that are saying, go forward. And they're not abiding, like my man said, they're testing the limits before even saying, hey, should we or could we? They just do. And it doesn't take but one moment in time, like I said, to start something out. But I do hope that our military would question before they did something like that. I just don't know.
I see what you're saying, Jerry, and there's no pushback. He's definitely doing a lot of fuck shit and then just seeing how the cookie crumbles afterwards because he knows the system is rigged in his favor and he's rigging it even further in his very favor with the gerrymandering and everything else, right? I see what the fuck he's doing. Like, everybody sees what the fuck he's doing. I just don't believe that there's enough people in place that will go for it. I think there's still a line of resistance there that's going to keep him checked to a certain level. Like, he's getting his way in a lot of different formats. Like, I see it. But I just don't think he can completely become the dictator that he yearns to be. Like, I just don't think he can. It's too fucking stupid.
Would that cause a civil war then? Because there are some people in the military that are going to follow him blindly.
Now, that's actually what I don't know about a civil, like, all-out war. Well, I don't know shit. I don't know how that shit. I mean, I wasn't there when that started, so it could have been like, just like this. But I do think you seeing people like even the like mildly racist. I think that some of them are coming to a point where they're like, all right, like it's gonna be, limits are about to be pushed, and even like what you see, the reason why I think that that's more likely is because like the shit with Elon Musk. What I can tell you is when two people with like that are very headstrong, that are powerful, both think they know it all, both got money, they ain't gonna get into it just one time and it's dead. It's not done until they have the blowout, and the blowout hasn't happened yet. So what's happening now is these like minor fallouts, and then we get that cool, and then we fall out. Yeah, I mean, we know how that goes in our personal lives. That never is gonna come to a head. So that is where I think there's gonna be a major split or something, dynamic is gonna happen versus because even this stuff where that's kind of happened before. They did it in Chicago. They had stop and frisk. I think that I hope that our the people that will feel it the most, who would be black and brown people, are equipped to handle it and to hold their shit until it blows over. What I don't think is these white people that disagree with each other and want to have their way. I think they're gonna throw fits and it's gonna be bad. I do think that.
The other thing we have to think about as well, let me start over. The other thing I think about is the percentage. We know the percentage of oh my God, she's annoying. Oh, shut up, lady. The other thing I think about is that we know the police have been infiltrated by these white nationalists, right? We also know that there is a statistically significant number of them who are in the military as well. And that's the thing that concerns me, because given the right motivation and even any semblance of protection, there's no telling like how those people will respond in citizen confrontations, especially when those citizens are already designated as dangerous, and those citizens that are designated dangerous are also black. So that is something that concerns me, and I get it about the UCMJ, I get it, but we have seen instances where soldiers, like the guy who Donald Trump pardoned, the one that was in Leavenworth for killing those civilians, I think it was Iraqi civilians, maybe it was in Afghanistan, I can't remember, and he was convicted, and his platoon or the members of his unit testified against him that he had violated all the rules, and he got a pardon, right? So I think we are existing in a system right now where people are not being held accountable for their violation of the rules. And when people have that level of security and their violence of behavior, it It just makes for unsafe conditions. That's all.
I also think this is what's keeping people off the streets. I mean, we're in kind of a choke here because the public needs to be out on the streets fighting against this or protesting against this, except that if we were to do that, then we walk right into the trap of them saying, see, we have an emergency and violence then breaks out. And then it gives him a way to militarize. That's, to me, that's the biggest problem.
One thing I keep hearing say is martial law. Like martial law is not going to happen. That's out. It's too many legal barriers. But if I were him and playing devil's advocate, I would use the Insurrection Act. That's a lot more applicable and a lot easier to get enforced, and that will allow you to use the military the way you want that, the way he would like to use the military. I think that's a realistic possibility.
Meanwhile, have you all seen how his hand and wrist are all bandaged? Apparently his hands and wrists are
Those hands and wrists are bandaged.
they're
Really?
yeah, bruised and bandaged, and they're saying it's because of this vein issue that he has. I was just reading up about it. Insufficient. Sorry, go ahead.
What is it? Vein thrombosis is what I heard.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to figure out why are they bandaged? You guys are not. There should maybe be a reason if you have thrombosis in your hands. Are they wrapped with ACE wrap? Because I'm trying to.
Where have we seen his hands bandaged? When did that happen?
That's what I'm trying to.
He's having makeup on them.
I'm actually looking at it right now. You can see.
Maybe compression. It's probably compression.
Yeah.
But they don't usually do that, you guys, for thrombosis in your hand.
Elisa, I don't know that. I just heard that. I that's not factually backed. I just heard.
The only reason I would think about bandage is them having an infusion, and then when they take the needle out, they apply pressure. But I don't see him leaving it on so the press can see it. I'm not saying anybody's lying. I'm gonna go look myself and see if I can
Yeah,
see it.
Parnas is reporting it, and you can see a picture, an actual picture of it, if you want to hear what he has to say.
Do you have a link?
Yeah.
Or can you put it in your PTR? Not your PTR. Oh, the picture of his veins in your PTR.
I can go into the reel and see if I can grab a screenshot of it if you want me to do that.
Yeah, I think he's been getting IV medication because his hands have been bruised and have been using makeup over them, and he has venous insufficiency, whatever. No one has said thrombosis. That's a whole other situation, right? That's a whole other thing. You can't just throw that in there and call it that.
I'm not making any sort of diagnosis.
No. I know you're not.
Yeah, I'm just listening to Aaron's report about it, and in the report you can see it if you want to hear what he has to say. I don't think he would just come out and say something like that.
Oh, Chad, I'm gonna bring you up, Chad. I haven't been. Yeah, I need to read that. I need to see.
You want me to go ahead and
Yes. Elle, can you do the picture first?
I'm gonna have to.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to go through the whole reel to find it, but yeah, I can do that.
Trump isn't saying that he's sick, but the man is talking about how to get into heaven. I have never heard Trump ever say anything about heaven, getting into heaven, being in the church house. Never. So it just seems really odd to me. There's some things that he's saying that could be used, that he could be saying, I'm not doing very good, or they say I'm not doing very good. He said that at one point, and I don't know if he was referring to a situation that he started like he does, or he himself. I can't see him. Yeah, and Chat, you're right. His mouth to me, me hearing him say, they say I'm not doing too good. That's a thing that you say when you have diagnosis that's not really great at his age. Go ahead, Chad.
Oh no. I think he about to go to the upper room.
I think I don't know about no upper room.
hot.
Lower room.
It may be a basement, but yeah.
Be down there in the hot place.
Yeah, he folded up that tent. He's gonna take the pictures out of that.
I don't know about the devil woman, because he could be probably run hell back.
I think he's just milking this shit until he dies, and then so they said he's become like extremely rich since becoming president, like to the tune of like $5 billion, and his kids. So I think he's gonna enrich his family. He probably know what's going on with him, but he don't care. He just gonna ride this shit out, and then whatever happens, none of these people care. They just want to luxuriate themselves while they're here. They can give a fuck what happens when they go.
Well, Alex Jones is saying that he's sick, so you know.
Yeah, Alex Jones is sick as well.
Yes. Alex Jones, I can't stand him. To me, he's worse than a fucking, well.
He's funny though. My heart still, even though there's a lot that I don't like, there's a part of me that will always have empathy for Melania because she had to lay up under that dude.
She didn't have to do a damn thing.
Don't
start.
April, wait, let me finish the statement so you understand where I'm coming from. Let me finish the statement. She had to lay up under him to have a child from him. That's all I'm saying. No. What I'm saying, she didn't have to do that.
Separated from their mamas and a coach that said, I don't care. That bitch can die and rot in hell with him.
And if I was the next president, I would leave the current immigration rules in process. And send her back out of here. Take your narrow ass home.
Ain't nobody had to. There's no had to.
To have his children. You can't get
Listen, G.A.
Yeah, she chose that
You
shit.
did it to win it, okay? That's it.
She chose that shit.
I'm gonna leave that picking like
Hell, that's makeup, love. That's makeup.
no, that's bandage over his hand.
Well, he might have a band-aid, but that's not like he's wrapped in that's not codeine, that's not any type of like gauze. That's makeup on top of, and you can see the lines through it. Like his wrinkles. I'm not arguing with you, I'm just looking at it myself. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, they're reporting it on ABC, they're reporting it on NBC, so they're all asking about it and talking about this venous insufficiency. What's her face? The press secretary is saying it's because he shakes hands all the time, and that's why his hand is bruised. So that was
Yeah, because that's the thing we've seen in the medical world is people shaking hands excessively and having everything like their cankles swell up, because that's the thing. I wish I could talk to that silly whore. This Caroline Wyatt.
I just want to get that out of my PTR, so I just put it in there so you can see it.
Thank you for doing it. Thank you so much. But when it comes to women having to do anything, unless there was force, right? She chose that money comes at a steep cost. And it ain't no amount of money in this world or the next one or however many I visited in this lifetime or another. They can induce me to do that willingly. No sir, no ma'am, no way, no how. I'd rather be poor and trying to make $1 out of 15 cents every day of my life than have to or feel like I had to or to get no.
GA, I don't understand. Like, I'm confused. Melania is the whore for hire that chose a very rich man that ended up being president. That's why she's not a first lady. She didn't intend on being a first lady. She don't want to be a first lady, right? She's just there by default because she happened to choose the wrong dude that tricked on her. I can't feel sorry for her at all. She getting paid for her services. Like, this is a deal. The PDA is not in the contract, so that's why she's not kissing the publicly. But other than that, this is a business deal, bro. Hey, man, I agree with all of y'all. I was just saying the dude is nasty. He's disgusting. And it's
sure she ain't doing it anymore. He couldn't handle it now. Just when you zoom in on those ankles, my God, they are huge. That's why I say stovepipe. His ankles are stovepipe right now. Absolutely. It's and as for what's going on with his hands, it's the IVs in his hands. It's the IVs. He's getting IV medication, and he's probably resulting in kidney or heart issues because the fluid that he's carrying around, even with the medication, is not reducing. He's still.
That's what the articles were trying to.
And Richard, I'm not being fat phobic because I'm fluffy myself. Ankles. Go look at his ankles and come back and tell me what you would call his ankles. People don't have ankles like that, okay, unless they weigh 700 pounds, all right? His ankles are swollen up.
Unless he got lymphedema, and my mother got that when she had breast cancer. So you have to have usually something triggers it, or you have it like all your life. So something going on.
Yeah, his whatever.
But he's old. He's like 80, right?
Yep, you have to understand he has access to the best medical care you could ever believe in and come up with. The way he came out of COVID, that's why he got that experimental gene therapy shit that people were getting, rich people were getting. Don't quote me on gene therapy. I just know it was not approved by the FDA yet. I have to go back and look what it was, but they were getting that treatment. He got that at Walter Reed. He got all kinds of shit. So
Yeah, it was an infusion. It was an infusion.
If they're
What's CHF? What's
that's
that?
congestive heart failure.
Okay.
If he's still this fluffy and puffy and nothing, them ankles is over the shoes, okay? And he's getting some kind of intravenous Lasix or some other medication, and it ain't going down.
That's also one of the ways, Gemini, that I didn't know at the time, but when I had my heart attack, my ankles were swollen. They don't typically get swollen. So I've been on water pills for like a year and a half now, since I think it's heart related.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I can tell you this, right? I know with my uncle, the way that we knew he was having heart issues was just the swelling in his lower legs, like the water weight in his lower legs was the indicator. And they started giving him heart medication and things of that nature. I think it's very likely that Trump is experiencing that, and he's doing exactly what he accused Biden of, right? Remember how he said Biden wasn't forthcoming with his diagnosis? I think he knows what the fuck is going on with him already right now, and don't want to let us know because he's got to appear strong, so he's going to put some makeup on, band-aids, whatever, and try to cover that shit up.
He needs another better makeup person because they don't blend or do anything. I need to get a close-up shot of those ankles for the people that ain't seen.
Have y'all talked about Pete? Have y'all talked about the people that Pete has fired yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Because they were mad that they told the truth about the strikes against Iran. What do y'all think would happen if, let's go with a worst case scenario, right? And he has CHF, or, let's say he doesn't even die, but he's not capable of performing his task anymore. Y'all think it's going to be better under Vance?
Hell no. Everybody tap on my PTR to see them that cankle up close. No, Vance has vacation 8 times out of 7 months or whatever they are. Something, 7 out of 8. He is Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel made him, he bankrolled his whole Senate campaign. Vance is, yeah. I never think there's somebody going to be worse than Trump, and then they show the hell up and show out. And the stuff that Peter Thiel, who also he grew up in South Africa, or was he? Because he and Elon were of the same age, and I believe they both were in South Africa around the same time when they were growing up. But there's a whole lot of shit that those people want we talked about Rock Bridge very briefly. That's some more stuff of wealthy people, wealthy donors who try to get these people elected. But yeah, that's Sunday, maybe a room will do.
Peter Thiel's German. He's German.
Oh, is he German?
But I think that J.D. Vance is worse because J.D. Vance is ideological. Donald Trump is not ideological. He's transactional.
Yeah, absolutely.
J.D. Vance is ideological and he's smart. He has a very good understanding of sort of the social dynamics, sociocultural politics, and he's a lawyer. So he's very conservative. I've said this before. People said they don't think that he's a natalist, but I think he's a natalist, and I think he's a nationalist as well. And so he'll be worse. He'll be worse. He's gonna push for more confinement for women, the limiting of women's rights. He's gonna push and advocate for that, in addition to the general restriction of civil rights. I think we do not want him to be president at all. So
Trumpy on the lot.
weekend at Bernie's, Donald Trump, as much as
Hello.
here, prop him up, dope him up, like how they get them football players in steroids and push them back out there on the field. Pump him up and roll him out. That's pump and roll. That's
So J.D. Vance is really that much worse?
absolutely.
Is he MAGA? Is he part of the MAGA movement? Or do they
I think he's beyond MAGA.
Yeah, I do too. I think he is pure eugenic. That's what he's about.
Yep.
He's about everything being just strictly white, white nationalism. That's his
Oh, you know what it is?
Even though his wife is not.
He grew up in South Africa, and he totally running.
I thought he grew up in Ohio.
No. We're talking about J.D. Vance.
With Musk, but J.D. Vance is completely into natalism. That was kind of thing.
Okay, I'm getting confused now. So y'all are talking about Peter or J.D.?
J.D. Vance. J.D.
That's what I'm talking about. So he grew up in Ohio, right? Not
Yes.
That was my thing.
Okay.
But I
And he's a
think
white nationalist,
Ohio and Kentucky.
I think he's a white nationalist.
which is the heartbeat of racism. So are you saying he's like kind of siding with white nationalists and things like that? I don't know nothing about that.
I totally believe that about him.
So I think so to me, like the white nationalist thing is like a very specific thing. I think he's adjacent to that, but his views are clearly to limit and minimize the power of people who are not white. I would not go so far as to say that he wants the elimination of those people from the country, which I would say is the white nationalist position. So I wouldn't go so far as to say that. I could be wrong about that. But he's definitely aligned with ideas about what basic sort of white supremacist ideas, even though, and it doesn't matter that he's married to someone who's not white, because that's a part of it as well, right?
What nationality is white?
I'm sorry?
What nationality is this white?
She's Indian. Because I mean, a lot of these people, they take their colonialism personal too. Like they colonize in other ways too. And his wife probably subscribes to a lot of his ideas about people of color, because that would not be off-brand.
Yeah, she's from a
They're
caste
Indians.
system.
I'm sorry?
No, I said she comes from a caste system, society.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of them, a lot of East Asian women, particularly Indian people, they are very, they have a lot of anti-black, like a lot anti-blackness. They're very white identified. They're very much British, a lot of them, in the colonial sense, totally colonized. So.
Do you think that there's a chance that you remember all the stuff that he was saying about Donald Trump, like prior to? Do you think that he would revert to that person, or you think that was part of it too?
See, this is what I don't know, because this is where I have, and I think I mentioned this before, this is part of my conflict with him, because there's this iteration of JD Vance, and then there's the 2014, 2015 JD Vance. And I don't know. Like, I don't know what the relationship between those are. And I would say, like, that's why unlike Donald Trump, who I think would have a country that didn't have people of color or black people in the country, I don't think that JD Vance is that person. So when he talks about, I think he could still manage to believe what he believed about Donald Trump and his autocracy, his authoritarianism, and see himself as not autocratic and not authoritarian, if that makes sense. He's just a natalist and a believer in racial hierarchy, which doesn't require autocracy or authoritarianism to function, if that makes sense.
And he has the weight of the evangelicals behind him on that.
But I think evangelicals is something we are familiar with that. I'm not sure. I guess I'm kind of like you. I don't know what's the real version of him, like that first version or this version.
Yeah, because as I think about, and the other thing is, like, he's doing a lot of talking now. He's not doing a lot of the writing and kind of intellectual work that he was doing before. So that's like another missing piece. But I could very well be convinced into believing that Donald Trump is just an instrument, and Donald Trump's extremism is an avenue for him to ingratiate himself because he's not as extreme, right? Like, that dude was way off. But here's a version of these same ideas without the odious components that Donald Trump brings. I could be convinced that that's a strategy.
Hasn't he been kind of bringing those to other countries? Haven't we seen him, going in other countries and shaming them and kind of the ways the ones keep it treated? I mean, a lot of that is coming from JD Vance. I don't know. I mean, he's certainly, obviously Trump's mouthpiece turn out. I don't think there is a way to know who the real JD Vance is. But I agree with you about him not being an instrument in the same way Trump easily is.
Yeah, and if you listen to him, like, even when he goes, he's talking to the people, but he's also talking about the governments, right? It's like the things that he wants the governments to do and what he wants the people to demand, like, of their government. So he's not, it's I don't know how to explain it. It's like he doesn't not believe in the democratic process. He just wants it to look a certain way. He wants people to elect people who have certain beliefs so that they can organize the government and organize the institutional or he doesn't believe in institutions. He's really an autocrat. He believes like I am the in George Bush's words, I am the decider. I'm the visionary, I'm the shepherd, I'm the operation, I'm all of it. And that's where they split.
It's interesting how Musk did the paradox thing. I mean, we never talk about Musk anymore. It's like, is it like he was done and then he was just gone? Like all that masking.
I don't believe he's gone. I think he still supports Trump monetarily. I think he just stepped out of the lot for a second. I mean, does it matter that we don't see him? We're still feeling and experiencing the ramifications and the consequences of his presence. So he may not be physically present, but he's present. Right? I mean,
Yeah, definitely. Well, he did his damage. He did it really well.
that's like I said before, it's going to take us 2-3 generations to undo this. This is not a one election fix.
Doc, I was listening to Gates, I think it was last week, and he was saying that the damage that the tariffs are going to do and the damage that Trump is doing to our economy is going to hit us for the next couple of decades. That prices will continue to rise for that long.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, we're never going back. We're never going back. Once they found out how much they could charge us and still people ain't in the streets over food and prices and stuff, they're never going to do a reset lower. There might be a chain or two here and there. I think it was at Aldi's that wanted to lower prices and did lower prices. Costco will remain who they are probably. But these other, why would they go back?
It's gonna. I mean, at some point, there's gonna be a crash at some point.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
The poor and the middle class. This is not sustainable, and those people are going to be so economically squeezed that there's gonna have to be radical action. There's going to have to be something like the Rooseveltian New Deal. That's the only thing that's going to pull the country out of the ravine that it's getting ready to be in. It's like when Barack got elected, he said the Republicans drove the car in the ditch, and now they're mad, or they're giving him backlash and criticizing how he's pulling it out of the ditch. But then once the car gets out of the ditch, they want to drive it again, right? And so it's going to take something super radical, because we're not going to be in a ditch. We're going to be crashed at the bottom of a ravine. So hard times are coming. They are coming.
watched another reel of a doctor saying that he thinks what Trump has going on is congestive heart failure. That is the read on the swelling in his ankles and now in his hand. That makes sense to you, Lisa? Anyone? Yeah, that's what it looked like to me, Ramona, because my mom had that and it looked like that. I don't think he's going to make it to 2028 events. I need to go yell, so you guys moms need to take over.
sister and his kid looking at all that shit. That shit looked crazy. Like Bloods and Crips, that shit was like, I still remember when I first started seeing GDs and shit in the news. I was a kid, because I noticed the tattoo shit.
Are you
Fucking
eating?
shit, catchy, Vice Lords, you know what I'm saying?
Cause you eat on the uniform.
Y'all got
Somebody on me.
y'all gotta learn.
Yeah, I
Y'all gotta
don't
learn
want
about
to throw.
voice isolation. Voice isolation is key. Legs no goddamn one teeth. All JC talks constructive to argue.
Can someone mute him, or I just don't hear? I don't listen to the smacking.
Oh my bad. How you do that? Oh. Voice isolation, my nigga. I agree with that.
He's muted now. Go ahead. What you were saying? I'm sorry. Thin glasses. Y'all were saying something.
I said, imagine me saying that Jay-Z brought the death and destruction to our kids because he influenced the league of drug dealers. That shit just crazy. 92 bricks, nigga.
Glasses, but you know, Mike would say she been playing for the mafia.
Oh no, but you boy knows how they praise white people. Oh my God, they know the way the white people do it. You know, they have suits on. And they snitch. Go figure. Sammy the Bull told on everybody, killed everybody. We cool with Sammy, but we mad at Gangsta though. And Gangsta told on niggas that was dead. Gangsta told on niggas that was dead. Nobody had to go to jail. Sammy sent niggas to jail. But it's cool though. We got a problem with T.I. telling on the dead nigga. If I'm dead, my homies know. If I'm dead, nigga, something y'all better blame me. Blame me whether I did it or not, nigga. Go get your family, nigga. Man, let me do this solid for you. This last solid. Nigga, take it to the grave, cradle to the grave. I'm gonna do this last solid for you. Get you out of trouble. So Glass. Hey, Glass. My boys will be at 16, bro. They make me want to steal drugs and rob.
Is it a fine line between being a gangster and gang banging?
No.
Same thing.
Yeah, that's just some crazy niggas say. I didn't argue with niggas that's gangsters and homies and all that shit about this shit. So that's like an arrogant thing. That's like an arrogant thing that a soldier, like a jarhead in the hood, is like. A jarhead will feel like they got more rank, even though they know they don't got more rank. You know what I mean? Like a jarhead feel like a nigga that's putting in work feel like he the most important part of the hood. You know what I mean? I done had this argument with a lot of different homies about who does what, and because everybody think they the baddest niggas, but the jarheads is always the worst. The niggas doing that think they the baddest niggas. They the most important part to the neighborhood. But no, if you from a gang to have a functioning hood is like it's gonna take multiple different types of people. And the reason, like I'm telling Lex, is unorganized is because they fight that function. Like it's so much more potential to crip gangs and blood gangs is way more potential. But again, you got members, a bunch of poor people coming together trying to make it work, and they just start fighting over silly shit. But there's so much more potential to it. But a homie is a homie, you know what I mean? Especially if you grew up with it. There's certain homies that's gonna go shoot. That's their thing. They gonna go shoot every day. That's their favorite thing. You know what I mean? They're jarhead. They ain't gonna be able to make a dime. Then there's certain homies who hustle and make money and still they put on for the hood. Certain homies go to college. Certain homies got jobs. Certain homies just hang out and be bums all day. It's all a functional part of the neighborhood.
My cousin, I don't know if he's gonna be active. He ain't active no more. But he OG out of continent shit. He owns like dental clinics and shit for the community. He doing all types of shit.
And if you're a solid homie, you're a solid homie. It don't really matter. But to your point, Jose, there's gonna be a bunch of niggas that's. Me and Mom James had this conversation before. We was on the fucking podcast, and I'm arguing him down. I'm like, man, James, you can't consider just the jarhead, the main nigga, or he the most important part. Imagine the mafia considering the hitman as the most important, part of the community or the organization, I should say. It's just the same thing. They don't want to admit it. That shit is all that shit come from. Them niggas just wanted to. It's how people feel like when the game passed on to the West. It's just like how the Drake fans do it, where they can't believe it happened. So it's like it gotta be something else. It gotta be they wanted to do this for the kids, or they wanted the labels had to. They had. That's how they see it. Because they can't believe that they dropped the ball or somebody got their hands on it. So they make some lame excuse. Oh, they had a meeting where they was going to empower the West Coast because the West Coast was talking about the Hootie Blam. It's like, nigga, Wu-Tang was talking about the same thing. Biggie was talking about the same thing.
Hey, I would just say it just really show how powerful the real companies are and how scared niggas really is. The company that these niggas are scared to name is Vivendi. That's the real company. And Vivendi own 2 record labels. It's like they own 2 of the labels, but they own a shit ton of private prisons. It's not no label. It ain't Warner. It ain't Universal. It ain't Sony. They don't own shit. The company that owns them owns the prisons and the fucking labels. That's what that shit is. Niggas just ain't gonna say it.
Yeah, but again, why blame Vivendi make it their business to put on shit to inspire shit? That shit is partially probably true and partially some bullshit.
It's 100% bullshit. They don't gotta do that, bro. They don't have to do anything. They gonna fuck with us on laws. Y'all really I tell niggas this shit, bro. I grew up on a 300 block, straight gangster shit, through and through. What you think affected me more? Listening to the Chronic at 8 years old or standing next door to 2 crack houses where I see murders and shootouts like face to face? What you think fuck with me more? The music or outside my house?
Yeah.
So how can this music affect any of us more than the shit we see outside our house? It can affect little Sally and little Billy in the suburbs that ain't never seen it. It can make our black children that grew up outside of this shit think it's cool and want to get in it, but it can't corrupt the niggas that grow up around corruption. It's retarded.
That's where the stories came from. That's all I was saying a couple hours ago, son. Like, that ain't shit, but like the expression of what's going on outside, right? Like, it's what you see. Not everybody sees it, but some people do, and that's their story. And then the fans are the people who it resonates with. Like, you saw it or you can relate to it in some way. At least that's how it is for me. How it was for me. For better or for worse.
Really, Callie, all that shit could do for us was provide a soundtrack to the dumb shit we was doing.
Right, that too. Y'all was
made you feel like,
I wasn't doing it.
It just made you feel like you wasn't alone. That's it. Like, it was like when I first started selling rock, Jay-Z came out, and it was like, oh, niggas in New York doing this too. Damn, I wasn't by myself, or it wasn't just as small as my neighborhood.
You know, we got some little young niggas right now. They've been at war about 15 years, and the older niggas is like 30. This shit started when they was like teenagers. Niggas couldn't even buy a pack of cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? It's been spanned off in the music. Like, 2 different for real, 3 different generations of niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I be telling these little niggas like, bro, y'all gonna hopefully age out. But when you age out of it, that's why like the older niggas be talking shit like, oh, why is Benny them in their 40s and they still talking about this? Like, them niggas perspective.
Man, I hear niggas telling me all the time, guys, man, when you gonna stop crib? You gonna be 50. Nigga, I'm not gonna never not be no crib. What do you mean? Well, why the fuck would I wake up and not be a crib? Why the fuck does that mean? Yeah, what the fuck does that mean? Like,
you see what's in my PTR glasses?
Oh, yeah.
People so brown.
That's gonna be what beat to the
represent something that they got a reason that, like, they got a reason to hate. That's the here. But the truth is, dog, like, it depends on what type of nigga you is. Like, if you the type of nigga that, like, you could be whatever type of crip you want to be. You don't gotta, it ain't no rules to how you gotta do your thing. You could be a fucking dentist and be a homie, bro. You do whatever you want to do. Only difference is, you know what I mean? Now you just represent a bunch of people. And every decision you make, you feel me, is like, affects them. It affects them. Yeah, it affects them. So it's like, that's how I used to feel like. They be like, homies, man, my homies will tell you, they be trying to court niggas on. They be like, man, don't court these old weird ass niggas on. I don't need them niggas doing nothing dumb and then doing it in the name of the set, then I'm just looking stupid all the damn time. That's why my world is different. You can't like I tell you like this, bro. Y'all took certain principles from us and like really adhere to them. It'll clean all y'all shit from up. The niggas wouldn't know what the fuck is going on. Man, I try to tell my homies, bro, we should start collecting dues. I said dues, cuz. Let's start collecting dues. I'll be like, that way niggas in prison, feel me, we could, you know, it could be cheap dues. I'm like, man, certain homies that's in good standing in prison, that we can make sure they little canteen is solid and they got all the phones and cell phones, especially if they're in good standards. I'm like, every time it's a hood day, like we do 2 hood days. We got the hood day that's 11/7, and we got the 117 hood day. And I'm like, man, they can finance that. And I'm like, man, we can really raise enough money. Certain homies, like, we can put certain, like, get the scholarship away from the set and all that. Man, you would have thought, oh man, that's, you know, some homies is cool with it. Some, man, nigga, you know, every homie can't afford that. Well, they shouldn't be gangbanging if they can't afford $25 in dues. That's just crazy. You better go earn it. You need a job, nigga. Yeah. My cousin, he used to do that with homie Wallace. They used to do that back in like, they did that up until, they still kind of do shit like that. But it's strictly like community based, like you said. And the whole point, just like it's like that big shootout that happened in Texas with all them bikers, like 200 niggas, they all get locked up and nobody said a word. That should speak volumes of like why on the black side, the white side, the Mexican side, outside of the gangs that's been here since the 60s that just got them names, that's just them names, niggas don't know. Because it's too hard to get in. I brought niggas around. I brought niggas from the yak around. The niggas was getting cut left and right. They got in there like, yeah, we ain't cut. Nah, you ain't cut for this shit. So get the fuck off. You can hang around and be party and be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? The first thing they're gonna do is hand you all the principles, like the beliefs and shit, and then you go from there. Cause like that's what got my cousin stepped to me. You know what I'm saying? He's a 4.0 wrestler. And like, it wasn't until I got older, I was like in my 20s when he, you know, sort of invited me. So like, just kind of learn about it and shit. But by then I was like, no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. I was arguing with some niggas and they like, wow, like you stupid, you 30 and you join a motorcycle club. Like, bro, you don't got no bunch of 20-year-olds. They don't like young niggas ain't just accepted in that shit. Young niggas is ignorant and dumb shit. Niggas be prospecting. My dad been an ace saying for 40 years. 40-something years. Right, know. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it's just, gangs got way more potential. But remember, it's a way, you know, poor folk organized, so don't nobody want too many requirements, odd as it sounds. Nigga, even homies just want just the benefit. They don't want the requirements. Niggas knew how much shit I had to do to get what's in my PTR. That shit wasn't just handed to me. Man, them niggas make you do all that prospect and all that old shit, man. That shit crazy. That shit crazy, but I like once I got all the way in, I understand. Yeah. You really gotta prove your motherfucking loyalty. Like, niggas levels to this shit. Once you get to the top, then you understand. And then once you see, like, nigga, I'm telling you, like, boy, it's a beautiful world, man. It's just dangerous.
just want Lex to admit it. He don't want it. He's starting to see that it's true. Gabo already sent you a damn request. I don't know why you ain't came up.
It's like niggas like Guilty, them gangster niggas, man. They hip hop, you hear Guilty Simpson, you think Jay Dilla and Stone's Throw, MF Doom, Peanut Wolf, but Guilty a friend of my club. Guilty, real nigga. But you wouldn't think it because of the music. You surprised who be what, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, Guilty Simpson.
It's big bro, man.
Good dude. Solid homie. Yeah, I don't know. You be trying to tell niggas the truth, and niggas get mad, and the feelings be having fuck.
Girl, gangsters, man. Hey, you know what I think though, for real? I think we don't got enough gangsters on the business side like we did before. Niggas like now with all of these numbers and analytics and shit, it's like different type of balance and control for the regular shit and getting the positions pop. Need a couple of the OGs to get back on this shit. I can tell a couple of men.
get killed once every 6 months. Somebody got.
Yeah, that's what you believe.
So I know.
Yeah, you don't know shit, my nigga.
So you was from DDG was chasing you around?
The murder man. Chill, bro. That nigga smart as hell, bro. That shit smart. Don't bring that shit like that. I give a fuck about that nigga or his people. Nobody gives a fuck.
I mean, chasing you around that house, you was scared.
Yeah, hey, how y'all be knowing all this crazy shit? I was about to. They don't be knowing shit, bro. They trolling, nigga. Nah, Dub press that nigga. Dub press that nigga.
And Pontiac first 5 months, 25. It was one homicide. I was literally correct. One homicide every 5 months.
One homicide every 5 months. Yeah.
What kind of nigga being a nigga chase you around a car though? Fucking too.
Nobody chase me around a car, bro. DDG brother Dub. DDG brother Hank. Them niggas don't pay that.
Is that the one that did the little video with the homies from East Coast and they took all his food and shit?
Yeah, them niggas is not coming in the ghetto, bro. Trust me.
Wait, what happened with? So that did happen.
That nigga dumb. Man, especially where I'm from, them niggas ain't for damn sure ain't gonna come where I be at.
Oh, wait, so what happened?
Nothing.
Bro, y'all had one homicide for the year, which is great. That's great.
Shit squash, bro. We need to bring that up. We had one homicide. What's his name? Tell me his name.
Oh,
Since you seen the one homicide, tell me. Look, you missed the information, man. Tell me.
Who's the one nigga? You sound crazy.
Who the one nigga who got killed?
Bro, that sound dumb as hell. Bro, you sound crazy.
No,
You telling him the name of the one nigga who died in the year?
If it was only one person, the name is gonna be so easy to find.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying that you about
What's
to
the one nigga
name?
name?
Are you about
What's
to
his
name
name?
5 other niggas that died?
No, I just want him to name his name. I want you to say his name. Say it, dirty. Since only one nigga died, it should be real easy to find his name.
I'll tell you right now.
Say it, nigga.
Let me look it up. I'll tell you
Because
right
it's picture in my motherfucking PTR. So say his name.
now.
Since you're the only one that died. Say it. I'm talking to you. You
Wait,
said
that
one
was
nigga
your,
died.
y'all know it was actually one?
you
That
talking
was
to
your man?
Just one. You said it was just one this year that died in Pontiac for murder. What's his name? It'll be easy.
Bro, I don't know, nor do I care. I'm just telling you that.
So, but if
You say
if you
niggas
can
die
find,
every
you can
day.
find it. If you can find it, if you found that just one murder fight, it'll be simple to see how many people died on
I'm sure I can find it, but I'm not gonna waste my time.
Find it.
You told me niggas die every day.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah, shit, right.
Find
Cause I was talking about hip hop and
You can
this.
find it. Make calls.
One nigga is his friend.
You make calls around.
That's cool. I'm not disrespecting. He talking like it's like that. It should be 3. You know what I'm saying? Cause 2 more niggas should have got knocked down behind that. How tough you talking, nigga? Stop talking to
Find it. Find it.
Pontiac.
don't make the rape the vibe.
Find it.
Nah, the house is 75,000. Hey, niggas ain't knocking shit. Michigan, Detroit, for sure niggas getting killed. It's $1,000 house.
It's a dollar glass. It's
I looked all those like when I started looking at them houses, because I was looking at them houses in Nice Town yesterday, I'm like, man, Philly's still crazy. Nigga house for they had houses in Detroit, nigga, for 87 cents, same price, nigga. You can have a Euro clip or nothing, boy, they gonna knock your fucking head off over there. Yeah, they for sure.
Wait, it say Stern turned this outfit. That was your man though? Like, I'm looking it up. That was Jimmy Turner.
I know y'all not
That's
talking
what
about
nobody turned me so late. That's a whole nother problem.
I said, you was asking the question, bro. I'm my business, bro.
Why is your city saying every restaurant is closing? Like, y'all got no restaurant.
No, wait. What you mean that's best, bro?
Mitigation of damage, man. Y'all niggas is squatters, man. Just say that.
Yeah, I saw former speaker. I saw that about how Ghislaine said that Trump and Clinton were both innocent men and did nothing wrong, and denied that they had any involvement whatsoever. I thought it was interesting that she also cleared Clinton because that creates a double jeopardy where it's not just Trump she's clearing. So that was a really interesting little sound clip from her that they released. And the Trump's personal former attorney who now works at DOJ, he says, "I'm not here to give you anything or to promise you anything." So it's like they really do control the narrative and the media that we consume. What was that? Blocking vaccinated people? You mean like their profiles? I mean, people got tricked. You have to have compassion and kindness and friendship because people got suckered into the vaccines. No, people just line up. They were people. The whole country operates off of what's called compliance, and most people, their whole lives are built around being compliant. And having worked at the former or at the United States Treasury and the IRS, the word which is always tossed around by the commissioner is compliance. You need to come back into compliance. So the COVID-19 vaccine lockdowns and forced vaccinations, that was a compliance exercise. And unfortunately, there's just a lot of victims of that compliance exercise. But, Kennedy, the bull, is the head of the Health and Human Services Secretary in the Trump administration. And, they have finally found their match. I mean, for really 40, 50 years, the pharmaceutical industry, ever since Reagan, has had limited liability in terms of what they manufacture and distribute and the medical misinformation claims that Big Pharma makes. So it's deceptive advertising on behalf of Big Pharma. And they're the biggest advertisers, but because they are the biggest recipients of Medicare, Medicaid, $4 trillion a year is printed up to go to Big Pharma, to big health insurance providers. And so that's the type of economy we live in. And that's one of the branches of the two snakes we have to choke off, the other being the military-industrial complex. But Big Pharma and the big military-industrial complex, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, 100 other companies, and 100 other Big Pharma, they are the biggest problems in our society, and we are paying for it. That's the insanity of America.
Earlier, Rob was saying that there's like a new thing that came out where it's like a list of 50 things you can't say because it'll trigger people. Did you hear about that? Can we get that list actually, Rob? Let me find it. Yeah, well, let's read this list together as a group, and
directly from it. Died from it. So. Yeah, there's like a new study that shows like 73% of the people who died within like 5 days of getting the vaccine is because it was directly because of the vaccine. That's Dr. Peter McCullough. Dr. Peter McCullough did a report on that.
I had a coworker whose wife likely got the vaccine, and because she had her cancer in remission. Well, her cancer came back full strong and she died. I think they just spent this last year just dosing her with all kinds of stuff, and then she died in July.
Vaccines are still extremely triggering. I just did an interview with a former Marine and nurse and podcast host. He's vaccinated, his whole family is vaccinated, his grandchildren are vaccinated, and sure enough, we don't have any health problems. Well, health is one of those things where it can sneak up on you in the middle of the night. Next thing you know, you got a major health problem. You're like, where did this come from? Oh, well, maybe taking an experimental vaccine manufactured in India by AstraZeneca, over 1.2 billion dosages were manufactured by AstraZeneca in India. So, Grok is an amazing tool because it cuts through all the friction and the noise and gets you exactly what you're looking for to make your point. And the scamdemic, plandemic was long in the making. I mean, I originally saw documentation from the George Bush administration, not just theorizing, but actually planning for this as if this was like a national security maneuver for the American people. But it's just a big dollar giveaway, a huge tax, debt and borrowing scam to stick future taxpayers with all this borrowed money. So
they were copywriting or getting all kinds of patents or whatever on like 1993 or 1996 or something like that. So for a long time, you're right.
Okay. All right. So I got the blacklist of terms that Democrats say they need to stay away from. So these are all kind of terminologies. Privilege, violence as environmental violence, dialoguing, triggering, othering, microaggressions, holding space, body shaming, subverting norms, systems of the oppression, cultural appropriations, Overton window, existential threat to climate, democracy, racial transparency, stakeholders, the unhoused, food insecurity, housing insecurity, person who immigrated, birthing person, CSI gender, dead naming, heteronormity, patriarchy, LGBTQ+, BIPO, I've never heard this one, BIPOC, allyship, incarnated person, and involuntary confinement. Those are like all the terms right now. I don't think that more, but those are the ones that they listed. So a lot of these terms are liberal terms. Yep, they're saying it's destroying their party by using them. They're not wrong. It always takes a mirror to look and see what's really going on.
Well, Trump is going city to city now destroying Democrats. So he's coming to Chicago, and the Democrats here, like cockroaches, are already vibrating and out of control. They have no idea what they're about to experience, because if they can clean up Washington, D.C. in 1 week, they can clean up Chicago in 1 week or 2 weeks and take a lot of the control and power and humiliate and shame the mayor who's running the city to the ground. The city is completely bankrupt. The state is completely bankrupt. And Trump, like a conquering crusader, is taking America back one city at a time.
It's great, like Seattle, Portland, Eugene, then go down to California. Jeez, this whole place, like the whole West Coast is a mess. street. My brother works for the trauma response team, and one day he went to like 33 overdoses. Took these people in the hospital. I mean, and who's paying for this?
We're paying for it. This country spends $88 billion a month just on education alone. $88 billion a month, 1.1 or 1.4 trillion a year we dump into education. What are we educating? It's unbelievable how much money.
The rainbow flag rather than the American flag. Jeez.
Yeah, it's liberal, socialist, populist. Mandani has raised $1 million and he's projected to win. So, that terrifying reality of a radical Muslim communist taking over America's greatest city is a reality. This is what happened to London. So, if individuals like him aren't defeated strategically and comprehensively, it is like a domino theory effect, within the United States. But Trump is literally liberating city to city, and he can't do it fast enough. And he needs to. His health is a concern, and I think him staying in the White House and meditating and commanding from the bunker is the best way for him to do it. People will obey his orders and do what needs to be done, but America has to be liberated internally as soon as possible.
Yeah, he's working a ton. He's messaging numerous times per day. But you delegate a bit more.
I go out pretty much every day for at least 6 hours. I haven't seen one National Guard yet. But I'll tell you, all of the fucking criminals and all of the little criminals that have been walking around causing trouble since I got here have vanished. They've vanished. It's like he's got the invisible hand.
Hey, Augustus, you mind if I chime in for a moment while I have a few minutes?
Yeah.
I heard you discussing about the vaccines and the state of affairs, but I thought a lot about this because for the longest time I'm one of the healthiest people I know, and there's no way you'd ever convince me to take anything from a doctor. I despise doctors from what I've seen them do to prescriptions to people I know. So I'm just allergic to them. But as the pandemic progressed, I noticed that I caught myself trying to advise more people not to do that. As things accumulated, I stopped. I realized who was getting these shots, who was promoting it. I took a deeper look into the typeset, right? And I realized that there was a threshold where I noticed that there was no utility or purpose for me to discourage these people from taking this shot any longer, because not all of them were cognitively present to begin with. Second, look at these people themselves, and life offers you decisions. This what I'm saying is irrespective to the individuals and the service members who had to involuntarily take this shot. I'm not speaking about the people who made the cognitive choice to do that. They're much more massive than numbers. Take a look at those people. A lot of them have no soul, and they're not aligned with Jesus or God. They did it almost as a pushback against the rest of the patriots who were trying to warn them about it. They were clinging to the medical industry and their advice. So I realized at some point, knowing the repercussions of the shot, that there was no utility in me, advising against it. Instead, I just dropped it and just decided to watch. And I watched people disintegrate. I mean, here Houston. I've watched people disintegrate. People started coming to me for health advice afterwards. And these are some of the strangest people that have no soul. And I couldn't believe how attached to their belief systems that they were, that even if you offered them suggestions of how to get healthier, and they were still attached to their immoral ways. And then this is difficult for me to mention because I had to be elevated in a perspective to where I am seeing the detrimental outcome of these what do you call medications or vaccines, and still say nothing. And I had to, consult with God about it and realize that these people were never completely present. And then that took me to a greater perspective about this entire rollout, that it had attracted some morally dysfunctional people to terminate or to see the end of their own existence by their own choice. And I realized that this is a greater a force and effect. Yes, it is. It's not a good thing overall. But who were these people to begin with? And look how irrational they're all behaving now. I can see them driving seemingly distracted, oblivious as they walk, just so detached from their souls. And I had to find moral comfort in God and Jesus, and just to realize that they're not. There's only a few people that are getting into heaven, to begin with. And then if you look at statistically through the country, many people don't even acknowledge Jesus. And so I had to find comfort in the kingdom of heaven that not everybody finds their way there. And not everyone survives this world. None of us will. But your choices will either accelerate where you are in the life after or not. So I'll leave it there, but I guess you understand what I was trying to say. I'm sorry for the ramble, but thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's like, let them get vaccinated. Why fight them? They should just vaccinate themselves to death. It's not like we want them anyway. I get it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
I get it. Yo, I'm feeling like right now, bro. It's like 80 degrees. It's like 80 degrees. I'm in an all black tracksuit, sweatsuit, walking my ass off. Whew.
I went for a walk earlier. It's like 95 here. So it's a scorcher today.
Yeah, scorching.
Well, I guess I'm going to wish you a great rest of your day. I'm going to jump back on the motorcycle. I'll talk to you later on. Take care now.
All right, you take care now. He's cool.
Yeah. I want to take my dog for a walk right now, but for this pause, so I'm going to wait until it cools down.
Anybody else got anything to add?
I'm looking at HMF's exit county race. The mRNA era is over. Secretary Kennedy canceled BARDA's contracts. What comes next? Mucosal vaccines, microneedle patches, universal viral family protection, real safety testing, no RNA gimmicks. We need vaccines that end pandemics beyond the mRNA age, building the next generation of vaccines that actually work. See, my concern is a lot of these vaccines are like defensive weapons against biological attack. So, the whole problem is it's like cat and mouse or a key and a lock. I mean, we wouldn't need the key if we weren't creating locks. And so it's absolutely insane the way we're taxing, borrowing, and spending to essentially engage in this type of warfare research and defensive warfare biological research. And the funding for these types of programs are never going to stop unless Congress people get elected who are willing to vote no on HRX that funds biological weapons research and defense programs. So we are our own biggest enemy. We're our own worst enemy. And China, Russia, Iran, any other country that invests in this type of research should be ashamed of themselves. And the most disgusting part is that NIH and Fauci were funding all of this in China. So we have real traitors that live with us, that work in our government, that work with big pharma, that receive royalty payments, and that have made hundreds of millions of dollars and are extremely wealthy, not because of the market and coming to bear good product and service, but because our government, through the HEROES Act and the CARES Act, the COVID-19 vaccine, a scam response, has made billionaires and literally trillions upon trillions of debt, $3 to $5 trillion in debt, have been saddled on your future. So everybody here collectively owes $110,000 to $400,000 because of all this spending. So you don't feel it yet, but you have been put in a financial position, which is not a fair bargain.
And John, you bring up a good point. The reason, to be honest, if you look, this research that you're talking about is going through NIH and departments like that because there's such oversight on the defense side that they would have caught this. So when they do it through these other channels, it's a way for them to hide it because the oversight is not as heavy on them. If they did it on the defense side of things, they would see it and it would be flagged right away.
Well, this is why Fauci, claims like he's Dr. Evil or James Bond. He thinks that what he's doing is patriotic because, he's providing next level defense. It's so insane. People like Fauci are sociopathic neurotics. I mean, what he and Bill Gates and the World Health Organization did and are doing, is utter madness. Like, we need to stop this type of unknown behavior. There's too many variables injecting our entire population with spike proteins. It's complete and utter madness, stupidity, clown world tyranny, medical tyranny, and they're sucking us dry at $4 trillion a year. So Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, United Healthcare, GlaxoSmithKline, Pfizer, Moderna, 100 other big pharma companies are parasites sucking from the taxpayers, plunging us into debt. Not just a little bit, but we're $37 trillion in debt, and that is an amount of debt which might never be paid back, and it'll only continue to grow. So it is like burning out the clock or a race to the bottom, and that is not a patriotic way to run this country. If we don't start running the government like an actual for-profit business, like other countries like Norway or Saudi Arabia that have $2 to $12 trillion sovereign wealth funds as opposed to $37 trillion in debt, we should have $37 trillion in surplus. So we're not running it efficiently, and everybody from around the world is sucking at our teeth and drawing all the milk that we have in our treasury. We've got nothing left, and they just keep sucking.
The question that I always ask people is, who do we owe the money to?
We owe the money to the Federal Reserve, to China, to the United Kingdom, to Germany, to everybody who has lent us money. It's not our money. It's not we, the people's money. They're stealing out our substance by creating hyperinflation for us and leaving us with nothing left. We are doing it to ourselves. Our Congress is doing it to us. Your elected representative is plunging you personally into debt. You just don't feel it because it's not at your local level. It's at a supranational level, which you are all tied into by your social security number.
Well, it's all out there because they use this fiat currency concept, right, where nothing's tied to anything of value. So I think that's going to be part of the chess game that's going on right now, and that's how you break this down. so that you walk away from it. And oh, by the way, if they find out that they've been treasonous acts around doing this type of a deal for the last 30 or 40 years, do they really owe the money back if they've been using this as a weapon against us?
You owe the money, you just don't feel it yet. But it's tied into your social security number. We are one huge index of social security numbers, which bears the burden of $37 trillion in funded debt liabilities and $100 trillion plus in unfunded debt liabilities. We cannot continue paying Medicare, Medicaid, and the military-industrial complex $5 trillion a year. We only take in $5 trillion, and we're borrowing $2 trillion to fund the government so corporations can have a net profit. This is an artificial economy. 40% of the economy is all because of borrowing and spending. This is not a business. This is a scam and a Ponzi scheme.
No, you're right. You're telling them exactly right, 100%.
That's right. Yep, that's right. Can't all be like Rob hanging out in Hawaii on vacation by the pool, drinking mimosas. This is a tough time. It's tough. Everybody's looking for work, everybody's looking for a job. There's not that many out there. Decide to get the jobs so that people relationship. Like the most qualified person. Know somebody. It's the girl gonna fucking, sleep with the boss that's gonna get the job. The pretty girl, you're not one masculine work. You're not one whatsoever. It's the last thing they want. They're trying to starve us out. Break us out. It's fucking a war on that. It's a war for survival. Well, we gotta be important sons. Create more wealth. And break out of this system. That's just going to get. That's what I'm looking for. I had a meeting yesterday with a company all about prices control, market for the company. They're under attack. Starts to become more well. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Rob, are you there? John?
I can hear you, brother. I'm just researching a bunch of shit right now in the background. I can barely hear you.
They said, okay, give us a proposal. We want to know how much it costs, when we get started, how long it'll take, et cetera, et cetera. So I told him Friday, next Friday, I'll have a so we got a lot of homework. Put these proposals together, but if I put that proposals together accurately, I don't know, my business partner said that charging like $100K a month is too much. But I know the guy.
Hey, man, if you want to give me a shout later while you're going through some shit, I'll help you out.
Yeah, it's a complex problem. So we'll figure it out. But it's solve the problem.
So I've a uniquely positive vibe coming in lately, and not so much from like the disclosure givers, but from what the information and like how easy it has been to find certain things lately. Like I do think we might be coming close to some big shit coming out that the government can't prevent. Like I've been finding all these DEW like technology stuff that I wasn't able to find like last month. So I've been sending a ton of shit over to Eric Hecker.
What did he say?
Oh, dude, he loved it because he's at that conference. So I told him, I was like, yeah, whatever I can find that you can use in your presentation, go right ahead. So now I'm trying to find out everything I can about these DEW projects, and dude, it's all over the world. Russia, just a ton of places have them. China too.
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah, what I'm dealing with, my problem is like, or what this company's problem is basically they're under attack from like an industrial complex. So the big industrial complex has like turned on them. They're trying to basically hedge their stocks. Create like a misinformation campaign online about them.
Hell yeah, dude, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, this is a company called Kitover.
Okay.
So, like, it basically, it's a preservative that, like, goes made out of, like, all the seeds and everything that's suppressed. And it goes on your food and preserves the shelf life on it. And there's all this misinformation out there right now saying that, like, only, like, the next conversation has, like,
Damn, I remember seeing the post about that shit last week.
Yes.
company from a propaganda mill like ruining it, because that's wild. All they had to do was just mention Bill Gates, and everyone said fuck them. I don't know. It would be percentage of sales I would go on after the fact. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe potentiality of sales. I wouldn't go for gold, but like, if you were able to save this company, that'd be worth millions, I would assume, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Maybe stock. All right, so instead of a hard line paycheck. I'm being drowned out by music.
What'd you say, bro?
Maybe stock options might be a good idea, like a paycheck plus stock options, perhaps.
That's a good idea.
You know, because then you're covered initially, and then on the back end you would be rewarded for whatever work you would have done. You know, like I don't know, just on both sides, I feel like that would be a great proposal.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Sure.
But I'll start looking up some stuff, man. I'll see if I can find at least where like the propaganda started to stem from, the first couple of news reports and things, because that shit made it onto fucking TV where they were talking about that stuff.
Did it really?
Yeah, I remember seeing a bunch of appeal stuff the morning after it hit X. I believe it was on like MSNBC or one of like the morning talk shows. I could be mistaken, but that's if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember it was like the day right after.
Damn, I didn't think it made it to TV yet.
Let me do some research and figure it out. I'll find out exactly where that has gone. Because that could be a big thing too, like a big defining factor. Like if it's already made it onto TV, you've got like an avalanche situation you have to deal with.
Yeah, the price has got to go up if it's on TV.
When are you supposed to be going over the proposal and everything? Like how much time would I have to source some information?
We're researching all weekend, and then going to start writing it out Monday.
All right, awesome. That could be a bit of time. Cool. Well, I got you, bro.
Yeah. I'm definitely trying to call in all the resources we got on this one. He said, do whatever it takes. He's willing to do whatever it takes, so.
Alright, fuck yeah, dude. We're going up against I love this because we're going up against a propaganda mill, bro. This is my biggest enemy in life, is being fucking lied to.
It's rather genius, too. Whoever the fuck came up with this narrative, really good.
One positive aspect of this whole thing is it shows how shitty of a public demeanor that Bill Gates has at the moment. Nobody fucking likes him. Good, man. Finally, the propaganda is starting to wear off on these fucking people. Like, there's no reason why fucking tech billionaires should be considered scientists. They're not fucking scientists, especially in the medical field.
Yeah, everyone's saying, like, Bill Gates. Touch it.
I'm trying to think too, maybe like a public, you know how they do like public tastings and stuff like that, like in public, like a little demo demonstrating what it does and how it works would be pretty fucking cool. Just Because like I feel like even online it might be a bit difficult to prove things aren't falsified, but in person, what are they going to be able to say? You know, like I got a couple of friends that do distribution and stuff over at a couple of the big grocery store chains out by me, and one or two that are in New York. It wouldn't be too hard to get a demo going in some grocery stores. You know what I mean? They'd hire maybe not a chef, but they would hire somebody with a food handling license that would come in and put on a demonstration and show the product off.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, but in grocery stores where the food would be, you know what I mean? Like, and even if you can get it in a Whole Foods or somewhere where they mostly sell organic, that would help push the idea forward. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, dude, this is my favorite kind of problem solving.
Yeah, it's a puzzle. Sure. We were thinking of creating some software to basically track all mentions of the company and categorize it if it's negative or positive comments. And also that way we'll know which accounts of margins that are basically pushing this narrative, and then contacting those accounts saying, hey, you got the story wrong. This is the real story. He's under attack from big food, big ag, industrial complex. Here's the story. Boom. And then they reverse it that way.
Dude, that, all right. If you get the right coders, man, you could make oh, that's awesome, dude. I would not go exclusive with Appeal with that, right? Because you can use that for Appeal, but trademark it in a way where you can use that for other businesses that you take on. Like, that's a good bit of fucking software that every industry would love. Like, if you can find out where the propaganda to trash your product is coming from, or even just adequately track it, that's invaluable.
So, I'm actually getting back to my place right now, bro.
Yeah, do your thing. Shoot me a text whenever you want to fucking shoot some ideas back and forth, man. I'll start writing some stuff down and going over shit.
Alright, cool.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. This is getting me excited, man. I got a goal right now.
Alright, Flag. Alright, Rob. Rebecca, John. Catch you guys later.
Peace. Good seeing everybody. Later.
Same. Bye.
Peace. Let's go down big.
Well, from Clubhouse. And let me tell you something. I would never, even amongst my friends, would I ever share one person's information with the next person. Because you just don't fucking do that shit. I don't know. I feel like, are we dealing with kindergartners here? Like, do we really have to go back to the basics to just teach fucking be a decent person? Like, if you don't want people spewing your shit all over the place, don't make it a habit of spewing other people's shit all over the place. It just boggles my mind that we have to define what it means. We have to ask for every opinion on Clubhouse. Well, do you think that this is doxing? Or, what if it came from here? There's as many exceptions to the rule as there are exceptions for why abortion should be okay. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd that they keep having these conversations. Just, act like a fucking decent human being. I don't know. I'm just really annoyed.
This shit always sucks. And that was like the only room that like had like, you know what I mean? I was like, this always sucks, dude. Everyone else was talking about like racism, religion, or fucking war, and then you got this dude talking about doxing, and I'm just like, we need to end him up. We need to fucking eliminate it, dude.
Right? And so what do? We come over here and we talk about
We have to say shit.
The thing of it is, I don't want your fucking opinion on doxing, whether you think it is or whether you think it is, to intentionally share somebody's information, to make fun of them, to harass them, to be aggressive towards them in any kind of negative nature. You're just a shitty person. Accept that, own it, and move on. Okay? Like, just whatever. I don't know.
I just can't wait for all the people that are for this to be like, oh, don't dox me. I'm like,
It's amazing the lengths. Yeah, it's amazing the lengths people will go to justify their share as though, well, it's okay because such and such happened to me. Sorry, I'm tangenting.
not at all. You.
That's what I heard, Serendipity. It's okay if it's just a face. It's okay if it's just a name.
No, it's not.
Revealing people's personal information without their explicit consent is a bad idea.
Yeah. I don't care if there's 50 people in the room and 49 of them have your phone number. It's not cool to put your phone number up for that 50th person.
You don't put other people on blast like that. When they tell you something, you keep it between you and them, right? Like, you don't take the confidence they showed you and then shit on it.
Yeah. I don't give a shit what the legal definition of doxing is. I don't give a shit what the Oxford definition of doxing is. What I give a shit about is, are you a fucking decent human being? Are you going to do the right thing? Or are you going to make excuses for why it's okay to do the wrong thing? Because that tells me a lot about your character and a lot about who you are. It is just a fucking app. And I would say that 99.9% of the time, when people dox other people, they relatively don't experience any real life consequences from it. But you know what? It's unsettling. It's harassment. And it's just fucking vile. It tells me who you are.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, did you remember yesterday how I was a little worried yesterday, how everything went down. I was like, oh God, do I have to fight? Do I have to defend myself? And then I checked my character and I was like, you know what? People have every right to feel how they want to feel. People have every right to do what they want to do. How I react is what's going to change the entire situation. So if I come in the room screaming, yelling, kicking my feet, freaking out, it's not going to do any good. And I feel like people don't have that discernment, girl, or that just I just won't react. They just want to react. They're so hungry for hey.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what it is. And serendipity, man, you couldn't have said it better. Like, if I tried to do the same freaking thing, and everybody twisted it and wanted to think that good people only was some holier than thou. No, it was the complete fucking opposite. By the time I started that well, at the time it was a club, it became a house. When I started it, I was at my wit's end. I was scrolling down my hallway, and if it
wasn't something misogynistic. It was something anti-Semitic. It was something Christian hate, or it was something super. If you could hate somebody for something, if you could dox somebody for something, it was in a clickbait, stupid freaking title in the damn hallway, and I was so sick and tired of seeing. I was like, listen, bring me your trash. Come on in here. If you are so beside yourself that you think that it's okay to interrupt people on stage and say your filth and spew your garbage because you've got whatever little clout you've got, then come on in here and do it in here. I want you to. I dare you to. Because I want to make sure that if only me, and it turned out to be a lot of good people. There are good people like you, Serendipity Pockets. There are Hillary, and there was a few other, like I pinged in here. There are a few. There are a few and far between. They're not disingenuous fucking assholes on this app. But if not, I'm looking for the few soldiers, the male or female, Republican or Democrat, Christian or Muslim, gay or straight. I don't care what the fuck you identify as. Just don't be an asshole. Just be a good person. Just try to do a little better today than you did yesterday. That's all it is. Treat people like you want to be treated. Sorry, thank you. It's what I'm passionate about.
Yes, we're word vomiting and regurgitating our frustration slippers from the other 500,000 rooms that have occurred in the last 8 days, because the answer to the question